Okay, so I just did a take, and then I realized that my sound on my camera actually doesn't work. So here's me starting again, and I'm going to use my phone to record it as a voice recording, and I'll match it all up. But anyways, welcome to the pod. Hello. There it is. I don't actually have a name for this podcast yet, so for right now, I'm just calling it the pod. We'll get there eventually. Also, thank you, Fuzzy Camera on my Dell computer, for bringing me this. Hopefully, eventually, I'll get new cameras, new mics, new everything, so I don't have to do that, and I don't have to do this. But anyways, for the time being, this will work. As you can see, I got the setup. It was basically like this already, but I just adjusted a little. Look out on my TikTok if you want to see some behind-the-scenes footage of what each thing is. It's not that much. It's just me, putting it out. But still, could be interesting if you're interested. Come on now. Also, I don't know if the microphone is in this side or that side of this, but I'm just going from the bottom because that's what they do in the TikToks. And we'll see when this comes out how the sound sounds. So anyways, also I used a flashlight for I used a flashlight from this set I got to make the light on this, so it's kind of cool. Okay, so we're gonna get into it right off the bat. I don't want this to be too long. I'm aiming for a 10-minute podcast maybe, just because when we're starting, I know people don't love listening to podcasts. You can throw it on your way to work, and you won't feel guilty about wasting your time or not listening to that new Beyonce, which you should listen to. It's fantastic. It's so good. Cuff It, and then Energy, and then Break My Soul in a row, and then 2 songs later, you got Virgo's Groove. You need to listen to it. So good. That'll get you dancing all day long. Okay. Irrelevant. Okay, so I got this book. I've been writing in this stuff all day, so now we know. Actually, I just read it for 20 minutes, but got stuff to stay. So this podcast, sorry, about to get real with you, but this podcast is about me following my dreams, living my life, and just me dealing with that on a day-to-day basis. I want to not only be able to relate to other people that just got out of college, but also just people who want to do what they want to follow their dreams and do something maybe against the grain a little bit, because that's kind of what I want to do, as in the creator economy, and I've always wanted to start my own business, all kinds of things like that. We'll get into that as we go, but for starters, I want to talk about kind of the facets of me and what I want to talk about. So in general, I love learning and growing. I'm obsessed with learning, obsessed with becoming a better version of me. My roommates are talking outside. Scary. Whether that is learning from podcasts, I love listening to podcasts, which is why I'm making a podcast, or if it's reading books, it's making listening to YouTube videos, watching movies, whatever it may be. I love doing that stuff because I love becoming a better me. That's what all these books are behind me. Or, a couple of them are just good books like Catcher in the Rye. So good. All my Catcher in the Rye people, let me know in the comments. Anyways, but yeah, I just want to every day make sure that I'm growing and becoming a better version of myself. And I think that's just my general mindset, but in this I also want to talk about that in more specific facets, my flashlight just turned off. Hold on 1 second. What the heck? Oh, come on. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, we're gonna pause this. Okay, so we're back up and running. So basically what happened there is my light went out, and now we're back up and running. I got a new battery, and we're good to go. Okay, so back into it. Okay, as you can see, I'm not very good at this, but basically one of the big things I want to talk about in this podcast will be about my journey as trying to be a creator, making podcasts, making videos, whatever it may be. And alongside this podcast, I'm going to be making 7 TikToks a week, 1 for every day, and 1 podcast a week. So this, and then I've already been talking to my roommates about making another podcast, which is us chatting, maybe drinking a little whiskey, see what happens there. But so I'm really interested in the creator economy. Shout out Colin and Samir. Shout out the Public Opinion New York City, new podcast from my buddy Henry. It's actually a really cool podcast, very inspiring. Their way they're doing it is documenting their journey, and they kind of showed me a way that I could maybe do that. So I'm going to document my journey here as well. And then just other people like Eric, Yes Theory, always been inspiring through the years, and really want to just follow in their footsteps and be a part of that, because in recent years, YouTube, TikTok, it's become a lot more than just people making videos like it used to be in the old days. It's so much more about the editing. It's so much more about the businesses behind them, whether it's the merch, whether it's the creating the communities on Reddit, on Discord, or even if it's using NFTs, which is another thing that I will definitely be talking about. Might be making it part of part of different episodes. Not exactly sure how I'm going to go about that yet, but every podcast you listen to, the first episode is totally different from the rest of the thing, because they slowly learn how they want to work through it, and that's kind of why I'm doing this, is because I want to learn how to work through it and make it into something that you guys enjoy and I enjoy doing. Like I said, though, NFTs are something I'm really interested in. I know a lot of you guys are immediately turned off when I say that. It's scammy, whatever it is. And in a lot of ways, it is scammy. It's there's a lot of people out there who, as we call in the NFT culture, they call it rug, which basically means that they get the attention and a lot of people to back this and actually pay to buy NFTs, and then immediately pull the rug out from under their feet and just make it and don't come through with any of their promises that they made for putting out the mint, and then basically is a worthless project. Everyone loses their money. It's no longer worth it, and it's a scam essentially. While some of them are like that, the ones that I'm interested in are not like that. The ones that I'm interested in are, for instance, Yes Theory's latest NFT, where they are actually producing a film based mostly on the money they made from selling NFTs and tickets to the premiere show. Every NFT represents a ticket to the show, and some of the NFTs are actually that costed a little more. These gave people portions of the money that was made from the show and maybe other exclusive things going forward with Yes Theory, whether it's meetups or merch that only they can buy or merch that only they can get for free. I'm not exactly sure what it's going to look like. That'll be interesting to see. But it's things like this that give access, give utility, that I'm really interested about. I was talking to my roommate today. Well, actually, I was just making an observation with how when I first got an iPod, all that was on there was games. I don't know, it makes me think of like Temple Run and that sort of thing. Things that like didn't really do anything. It was just games and music, really. And then as we're going forward, now there's things like Venmo. There's things like online banking that literally I can do so much from this phone that I never would have thought was expected. And that's kind of how I see NFTs going forward. There's so much that you can do with the security and interconnected like the interoperability of the blockchain that we can't even imagine right now. And that's what I'm interested in. A lot less than the pictures you see of even the Bored Apes. I'm not like too hype on that. I think it's really cool. I think there's that community is super strong and has a lot of merit, but that's just not what I'm interested in. I'm more interested in the technology and what you can use that for. So yeah, okay, I went a little over time, but that's episode 1. If you're interested in anything I talked about, if you're interested in coming along the journey with me and seeing what this turns out to be, that'd be great. Maybe one day I'll have you on the pod, because if you're listening to this right now, you're probably someone I know. If not, hey, hit me up. Comment below. Let me know what you like, what you didn't like, if you think it's too long, if you think it's too short, if you don't like the video quality or the microphone quality. If that's annoying, let me know, because you know what? Maybe I'll just invest. I'll buy something for this. I'll do it. Why not? Let's do it for the fans. As Eric always says with his mafia, the mafia decides the videos, and you are my squad that we will soon come up with a name with. Like, we'll come up with a name for this podcast. But anyways, have a good night. I'll see y'all later. Wait, I need an outro here. Anyways, man, that's a tough one. Hey, let me know how I should intro and how I should outro. For now, it's hello, hello, hello from the start. This is the pod, but we'll figure that out later. All right, see ya, folks.